All right, some breaking news coming in right now, and what could be a big blow for the Taliban-backed terror outfit, the Haqqani Network. One of its own commanders, Abu-bakar, has now been killed after an American drone strike. The American forces launched an overnight strike on terror bases in Speental area to the Hangu district. This is in the northwestern part of Pakistan. The commander who was killed moved to Deval from North Waziristan following America's strikes last year. The aerial strikes, as you can see there on your screen, follow the massive explosions in Kabul that's killed more than 150 people in recent months. Let's go straight to Kabul, where we're joined by our international correspondent, Daniele Pagani, to get us the very latest. Daniele, good evening. Thanks for joining us. Certainly a blow to get this. Let's actually go to Taha Siddiqui first before we go to Daniele. Taha Siddiqui joining us from Islamabad. Taha, certainly a huge impact there with this drone strike there in northwestern Pakistan. What's the latest?
Well, right now we have very little information as to whether this was a strike that was carried out by local Pakistani authorities or whether it was an American drone strike. But from what we understand, early Tuesday morning, sources in the tribal belt, basically, which is the federally administered tribal area, FATA, and adjacent to Hangu district, they say that there was a drone strike there in which three suspected militants were killed. One of them was the one of a leading Haqqani Network leader himself, and two others were foot soldiers from Afghanistan also. But right now, this is the only information that has come in through. The local authorities on ground have confirmed this drone strike, but they remain tight-lipped about whether the Pakistanis themselves carried out this drone strike or whether the Americans carried out this drone strike, because we've seen that in the last couple of years, the Pakistanis themselves have also started carrying out drone strikes in this particular area. But one thing is for sure is that one of the casualties, one of the dead, is a suspected Haqqani Network leader.
Certainly a huge blow there. Certainly this also talks about the plight, the implication that the U.S. is combating when it comes to terror, both in Afghanistan as well as in Pakistan. And then this drone strike happening with one of the top Haqqani leaders killed. Certainly, do we expect any kind of retaliation perhaps, or where do we expect this to unfold in the hours ahead?
Well, the very fact that it's, how the situation has been developing in the next door neighbor in Afghanistan, and the big attack that was carried out, in which the Afghan authorities alleged that the perpetrators behind it were the Haqqani Network. So given that, from what we understand, usually if this is a U.S.-led drone strike, then also information must have come from the Pakistan authorities. But if it is a drone strike that Pakistan carried out itself, then it probably shows that Pakistan wants to do something with regards to the Haqqani Network. But it also says another thing, which is that Pakistan keeps on denying that the Haqqani Network does not exist on the Pakistan soil, but repeatedly we have seen such Haqqani leadership appearing on the Pakistani soil, sometimes in these suspected in these drone strikes, sometimes otherwise also carrying out operations from Pakistan. So that question remains, that the very fact that there is a heavy presence of Haqqani Network on this side of the border, and that presence is the one that is carrying out attacks on the other side, according to Afghan authorities. And is Pakistan changing its stance towards them by providing information to the U.S. or itself carrying out these attacks?
Right. All right, let's go straight to Daniele Pagani standing by in Kabul on the same story. Daniele, first up, breaking news to bring to our viewers: a Haqqani commander killed in Pakistan after American drone strike. The Haqqani Network, Daniele, also recently denying playing any role in the recent Kabul bombings. Certainly this talks about the American prerogative really going after the terror groups not only in Afghanistan but also in Pakistan.
Yes, this is what it seems. It looks really like the Americans right now are on the offensive. As we know, President Donald Trump was considering earlier, 2 months back, said that he was willing to send 3,000 to 5,000 more troops. He requested also to the NATO members to participate in this new deployment. And just yesterday, General Mattis said that he had in very tough words, he said that he had enough, and he is going to present to President Trump a plan in order to go on more and more on the offensive, both in Afghanistan and also in Pakistan. So this is something which is pretty new, I would say. Direct bombing made by the United States of America within Pakistan, who's been formerly in ally for decades. But yes, undeniably, the Haqqani Network is behind, if not the latest attack which happened in Kabul on the 31st of May, is behind many of the actions and the infiltration, and especially it's holding control on all the smuggling routes between Afghanistan and Pakistan, which are supplying weapons, landmines and ammunition to the Afghan Taliban. So the Haqqani Network is we can say, the central intelligence and the central headquarter of the most powerful Taliban branch right now active in South Asia.
All right, certainly something the Americans want to thwart, certainly a very delicate situation.